Okay, let's try two popular LLMs, local LLMs with OpenCode. I did a very similar test with PyAgent, PyCode, and now we try to do the same things with this example Svelte application. Here you can see the RAM usage. So I change the agent to Basico, which is an agent much more minimal. And I will start with the Qwen3.5-35B-A3B with the Q4 quantization. And let's see also the difference with OpenCode. I did this test with PyCode, and it is very basic, while in OpenCode, especially if you use the build agent, it had many rules that grows the context. So my Basico agent should be much more similar to PyCode. This is the RAM usage, 30 gigabyte, and I also have a bit of swap, 5 gigabyte. Obviously, if you have a faster computer, these models will run faster. Okay, it starts to reply. This is the thinking part of Qwen. And now it starts with the tool usage. So it starts with ls to understand the project structure. Okay, it found the app.svelte, so the main file where to make the edit. So the tool usage, it's working fine. This is the edit. Okay, so this is the diff, background color red, and it also kept the state of the application. As you can see, the counter hasn't been reset. Okay, so first test, it's passed correctly. And now let's do the skill test. So add to the paragraph the latest Linux version, use search engine skill. This is very important because there are many ways to do search engine, and this is my custom skill to use search engine to do the web searches. Sometimes with the growing context it use other ways or hallucinate the answer. So now it is loading the skill, so the context grows with new instructions. Okay, it didn't read correctly the skill definition, but sometimes they can autocorrect from their mistakes. So it tries again. Okay, so it was able to do the query correctly, and as you can see, here we have the JSON replied by the CLI tool for SentinelG. And in this text, it should find also the updated info about my request. And this is Qwen3.5 with reasoning active. Previously I used this model without reasoning active because it's faster, but with the skill usage it's better to use the reasoning even if it is slower. (14.7K) it's the context used. My advice is to reset the session, so make a new session as soon as possible, because especially with small models it get confused if there are many information in the context. Okay, it started to reply finally, and it was confused with Linux and with Ubuntu. So let's see what we'll put in the website. Okay, we have the patch on the website. So it was confused because it put Ubuntu 25.10, which is currently the latest Ubuntu Linux, but I asked the just Linux. And it also used the language used in the website, so it was in Italian and it added the info in Italian. So Qwen3.5 Qwen3.5-A3B passed the red button test and also the text with the search engine tool. It was a little bit hallucinated because yeah, it had to find the correct Linux number in the search engine reply, so it also depends on the quality data from the search engine. So now we do the same test with the other model. So Gemma4, this one, via llama cpp, new session, and here I reset the session, and now it should start correctly. Okay, so the initial state is the same. Let's start with the red button test. So I paused the video and now I have unpaused it. Let's see. It decided to read the app.svelte, and now it tries to modify. With the reasoning mode active, this model should work better, especially in the edit, because in the previous test I got a lot of errors because it wasn't able to run the edit tool correctly. Okay, so it put the background color, and it also decided to put the white color for the text, so it's more readable. Good. And we have passed correctly the first test of the red button with Gemma4-26B. And now the second part, so add to the paragraph the latest Linux version, use search engine skill, and this is my skill for online searches, and it have to know how to use it. So this is reading the skill, and I pause a bit. Okay, we have an error. So even if we have the reasoning active, we have the first error, which it's because it didn't run correctly the script for search engine skill, and now it runs it correctly. So it was able to autocorrect, and it is searching latest Linux kernel version. So it added the word kernel, and probably here we have more better results. And with these results, it should be able to get the version correctly and then edit here the web page. Okay, perfect. And in this case, I don't know if it was luckier, but it put the Linux kernel version correctly and not the Ubuntu Linux version. So conclusion, it's weird that with OpenCode and reasoning we have better results than with PyAgent, but with PyAgent I used the non-thinking version, so it's okay. I think both model behaved correctly. So in this specific use case, Gemma4-26B got a little bit a better result because it put the Linux version correctly. But both models, so also Qwen3.5, were able to use the tools correctly, so especially the edit and also the search engine tool. That's it. I hope you found this video useful and see you in another one. Bye.